Hey, welcome to Brighter Rays. This week we are looking at Proverbs 6:20 through 35. 6:20 through 35. And let's begin by reading that. It says, "My son, keep your father's commandment and forsake not your mother's teaching. Bind them on your mother on your mother. Bind them on your heart always. Tie them around your neck. When you walk, they will lead you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you awake, they will talk with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching a light, and the reproofs of discipline are the way of life, to preserve you, and I can't read, to preserve you from the evil woman, from the smooth tongue of the adulteress. Do not desire her beauty in your heart, and do not let her capture you with her eyelashes, for the price of a prostitute is only a loaf of bread, but a married woman hunts down a precious life. Can a man carry fire next to his chest, and his clothes not be burned? Or can one walk on hot coals, and his feet not be scorched? So is he who goes into his neighbor's wife. None who touches her will go unpunished. People do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his appetite when he's hungry. But if he's caught, he will pay sevenfold. He will give all the goods of his house. He who commits adultery lacks sense. He who does it destroys himself. Wounds and dishonor will he get, and his disgrace will not be wiped away, for jealousy makes a man furious, and he will not spare when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation. He will refuse, though you multiply gifts." All right, so that's what we're looking at this week. Now, last time, when we looked at Solomon's writing here, Solomon had a scathing rebuke of a person he called worthless. They have perverted hearts and are continually sowing discord wherever they go. He went on to describe 7 things that God hates. The 7 abominations that are listed are haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that run quickly to evil, a false witness, and one who sows discord among his brothers, or among brothers. If we don't want to be worthless, then we need to not do the things that he says not to do. And if we love the Lord, we will hate what he hates and not do what he calls an abomination. Now, Solomon now returns back to what he warned about in chapter 5, which was sexual immorality. No doubt the repetition and the cycling back to this topic after mentioning other things that the wise avoid is intentional. The wise understand that to give in to temptation of sexual immorality in any of its various forms is playing with fire. Eventually, you'll get burned. Now, sexual immorality is one of those sins that doesn't always have an immediate negative effect. You can cheat on your spouse, watch pornography, hook up with a stranger, or engage in homosexual relationship and seemingly not experiencing anything negative. In fact, you might feel good about yourself. After all, sin usually does feel good at first. You might even have a feeling of peace about the whole situation. Because you know that having a feeling of peace about what you're doing automatically means God approves, right? No, it doesn't. But a wise person thinks differently. The wise have the ability to look past the good feelings and the feelings of peace and hear the warnings and the commands of God. They know that despite how they feel, God's words and thoughts are truth. They know that the heart is deceitfully wicked. Following your heart often leads to disaster. So, we're going to turn to the end of chapter 6 here. And here we have God's thoughts on sexual sin. Specifically mentioned here is prostitution and adultery. So, that's what we'll be looking at this time. Come back next time, and we will begin our study in the end of Proverbs chapter 6.